and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a great Gershwin classic, Someone to Watch Over Me. And as promised, inspired by Lyle Ritz. And yes, it's in this book. Jumpin' Jim's Ukulele Masters Jazz, Lyle Ritz. Jumpin' Jim Beloff has a great website, fleamarketmusic.com. Go visit that and buy that book. It's a great book. The arrangement we're doing is in that book. It's a Lyle Ritz arrangement, and I've modified it, changed a few chords. I've changed the key to make it more female friendly, so I hope you all are out there getting ready. Going to cover that for me, and I'll post that on my website. Really looking forward to that. We're going to do the chords first. I'm going to do a run through of the whole song, and then the breakdown after that. Very deliberately, very slowly going through each chord, each fingering. So the run throughs first. Someone to Watch Over Me in the key of E flat. Okay, let's do the chord breakdown. Someone to Watch Over Me. First thing, it's from this book, like I said, and it's interesting. The original arrangement was done in B flat. So I don't know if you could see this or not. It's got two sets of chords. One he calls standard, and the other one he calls tenor. Tenor refers to that DGBE tuning, the lower pitch tuning, and standard is the standard concert tuning, the gCEA. So it's both B flat, but there's two completely different chord shapes, chord patterns. So what I did was I took what he calls tenor, or I call Lyle Ritz tuning, DGBE, and I'm just playing it on the higher tuning concert uke. So that meant that I had to transpose the melody line from B flat to E flat up 5 semitones. It makes it a little bit easier for female vocals. So you can see I've also added the ad-lib intro section that was not in the arrangement in the book. It's that little preamble to the song before they get into, I guess, what you would call the meat of the song. There's a saying old, said that love is blind. there's a single. So E flat 9. It's just a bar chord. And the third finger. Okay. There's a lot of meter change there. I don't know if you can see that. It starts out at 3/4, then it goes to 2/4, then it goes to a regular standard time and back to 3/4. That's to kind of create a more flowing feel, a more sort of without tempo feel, even though there is clearly a tempo and a click track. So the tempo is changing and the meter's changing in this intro. Once we get to the song, it's pretty steady. But you can follow along with the guide track, and hopefully you'll get through it. That's the only way I could figure out how to do it the way I wanted to hear it. So anyway, that first chord. And then you have kind of a rapid succession. 1, 2, 3. I'll play it. Bum, bum. So those are just kind of back to back. You've got E flat major 7th, and then E6. So that's really just simple. Just use that third finger there with a bar chord. Got it? Next chord, high F suspended 2. E flat 9, and there's no 5. So it sounds like. That's where we are now. Standard major 7. But we're gonna slide up here. So, and then a strange version of the F7. You can play it like this, but this one sounds a little different because there's an open string here. And then I just do like that. Little mini bar. Nice A flat 6. And it's really just an inversion. So I'm gonna seek. And then we're back down here, G minor. B flat 7. And we've kind of come full circle. And then I had put a little embellishment in there. And then it's kind of a quick C7, B7. So it's in mind. And I can't leave well enough alone. That's sort of Little Rascals kind of barbershop. B flat 7, sharp 5. Back around to the beginning. We're going to do the same thing again. E flat 9. Little bar chord. Same thing there. The E6. And this is a slight variation. We're going to start where we ended off. E7. Same A major 7. And then that quick little turnaround on the 2/4 bar there. And then that F7. And then we're going to start here instead of here. We're going to start here and invert that up. And I like to arpeggiate that. Arpeggioate? I don't know. So that's in the tabs when you see that in the music. And then back down the neck, G minor. And then we're making this sort of home run towards the melody, D7, a little embellishment. It goes quick. Boom, boom, boom. So here's the 2 chords. D7, diminished, A, diminished. And you just kind of turn your hand around right on that diminished chord. Got it? C. back to back, G minor. And then we're gonna be on tempo now, 4/4 all the way from here on out pretty much. And these are starting to strum even beats, so it'll sound like this. Boom, 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 boom. This lost lamb. So we're on that B flat. B6. And then that same thing I'm using in the intro there, it comes back. Just kind of a de-augmented. And then just either pick that single note or play the whole chord if you like. And then we're into the melody. There's a somebody I'm B flat 9. So these are all bar chords. Bum, bum. Lovely moving tones there. E flat 6. That diminished chord. Out to B, G minor 7. And then and that's some 1, 2, immediately goes into the turnaround with a G minor 7 flat 5. Turnaround. F minor 7. And then back down, we're resolved. Now we're gonna get fancy and we're gonna start to make the second half sound a little bit more different than the first. A lot of times in the book, he'll have just a repeat with the different lyrics for the second verse. But I always like to add a little more tension and excitement during the second verse as an arranging tool. So I tend to start to work my way up the neck. So that's what I did with this. We start down here, which is the same as the beginning, E flat 9. And then I'm gonna slide up with a bar chord. And then we're gonna invert that and add the 9 on the top. So instead of just going down, 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 we go through that E6. So we start out E flat 9, E flat 6, and then drop these 2 fingers down on there. And then I like to grab that following the melody, B flat 9, no 5th. So it's the same chords, they're just inverted up higher on the neck. E flat 6. And then we're back down here, G minor 7. But I'm also going to put a little embellishment, a little slide. Again, I haven't written it in there, but 7 suspended 4. And then it would normally be a diminished, but since we're using different, it's a C7 flat 9. A lot of times I just take these chord names from what Lyle named them. I have no idea. I'm not actually a musician. I just love to hear these chords, so I've learned to play them. But there's people that know way more about the structure and the theory behind these chords than I ever will. So I just trust them. A lot of the ukulele chords have multiple names because they only have 4 notes, and some of the chords technically should have 6. So you can name them many different things. Anyway, moving on. So that same To One Who'll Watch, F minor 9. for that A minor 7 flat 5. B7. And then we're going into the bridge with a little tiny turnaround. So B6, E6. Just put your hand right down on that B flat minor 7. I know he may not. So it's back, forth, G6, A flat 6, G6. So, got it? I know he may not be the man. A lot of notes there, including the melody. It's really cool. So, A6. Girls or boys, depending on who's singing it. And then up. Handsome. E flat 6. A minor 7 flat 5th. G7 suspended 2. The key. And then this is another little turnaround. So for the big finish. The key. G minor 7 flat 5, that's where we are now. Love that chord. And then E flat major 9. That's a nice change. E flat 6, flat 5th. Oof. Sometimes I call it a minor 6th. Again, these names are interchangeable a lot. And then we're gonna do a little change here. Why with a retard in the tempo? G flat 7, sharp 5. So that's a C9. These are just all minor 7s. And I'm picking them kind of like. So, back down to the F minor 7. To the 3rd fret. One more half step up. B7. So that goes from sort of this, and you drop these fingers down onto the fretboard. That takes a little practice, but it's worth it. And then I put a little ending on here. So it's basically alternating between major 7ths and 6s. So let me play it for you. It's over me. A little shimmer on there. And then I use my pinky. I don't know why. And then down to the 4th fret there. See, we're just cascading. And then we finally make it a little sadder. Major 7 through to the B6. Once again, I hope you had fun. Thanks for sticking with me on this one. If you got through Tonight You Belong to Me, this is a little more difficult. There's a lot of chords. It took me a long time to learn them all, and even still, it's hard for me to get through without making a mistake. So good luck. By the way, don't forget, Stuart's waving his hands there. Send this link to anybody who you think likes advanced arrangements of ukulele. And thanks for joining me. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next month.